Hey everybody, how are you guys? I hope you guys are good. All right, so I wanted to make this video because the train derailment in Ohio is not getting enough media coverage. Um, really bad things are happening. They're trying to tell everyone that it's safe and that they're in no danger, and that just simply isn't true. The media has just blown over this with all the talk about UFOs and China balloons and all of this, and that nobody's talking about the thousands and thousands and thousands of gallons of toxic hazardous chemicals that are being pumped into the air, into the soil, into the water, killing all the fish and animals around. And it's completely insane. They're basically poisoning people and telling you that it's safe, and not reporting to the world what is actually happening. So let's get into this.
People talking about the train derailment at East Palestine, Ohio. And all I'm going to ask is that if you do this, you get your facts right. I literally grew up right down the road from East Palestine. My old childhood best friend lives in the fucking town. My current best friend literally lives right next to the town. It is so much worse than what the media is telling any of us. I'm getting reports from people that are down there right now that they're literally seeing schools of fish floating down streams, rivers, fucking dead. I got a video from my friend, okay? And she's like walking, dude. It's all fucking dead. All fucking dead. And on the top of the water is a really pretty chemical rainbow sheen. The chemicals are in the fucking water and they're lying to the rest of the country saying they're not. The water's been contaminated. The soil's been contaminated. The fucking air is contaminated. You literally are about to see some of the worst fucking health side effects coming out of people in that town. It's not even funny. And y'all want to know something even more fucked up? The restaurant that I work at in a whole different state had to donate food to them because we had people from the churches calling to tell us that Red Cross never fucking came, FEMA never fucking came, the environmental conservationists still have yet to fucking come, and nobody's fucking helping them. Meaning all of the fucking firefighters that were working get no food, have nothing to help them, nothing. Okay, all the people that were displaced have no food, water, a place to stay. None of that shit. It is so much worse than what they're telling you. And TikTok probably won't even let me post this video. But if this video gets posted, please save it and repost it everywhere you fucking can. Because I'm telling y'all, they are covering this shit up. They are covering this shit up because they don't want to get out how bad it actually was. This was not good. This was the worst fucking thing that's happened probably in the past 8 years. That entire town is basically unlivable now because of the fucking chemicals. And they're lying, telling civilians that it's safe, knowing damn well because I took chemistry and I know chemicals and I have this awesome fucking supercomputer in my hand. The side effects from breathing in those chemicals, they're covering shit up. They're covering shit up. They're covering shit up. But it's not surprising.
Absolutely. I could not have said it better myself. That she is exactly right. That is exactly what is happening. And nobody is talking about it because everyone wants to be talking about UFOs and shit. For real. That is crazy to me. Okay, but just so you know, that is from Ultrademic. on Twitter, which is trying to see what her channel is called on TikTok. I don't know, I can't find it, but yeah, that's insane to me. All right, let's move on to this next one. Like, this is reality. This is what is happening right now, and nobody's freaking talking about it. Nobody is there to help. The White House never said a damn word about it. Mm-hmm.
A lot of coverage, and the coverage that it has been getting hasn't been very good. So let's talk about the trail derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. East Palestine's about an hour north of Pittsburgh, almost halfway to Cleveland. Norfolk Southern has a rail line that goes right through town, and this derailment happened right on the edge outside of town on the border of PA and Ohio. Of the cars that crashed, 5 of them contained vinyl chloride. It's a monomer used to make PVC. Some of the reporting on this has gotten vinyl chloride confused with polyvinyl chloride, the polymer made out of vinyl chloride. Now, the reason that this distinction is really important is vinyl chloride is very hazardous and very flammable. Polyvinyl chloride is a plastic that's used in like everything. The other thing about vinyl chloride is that it boils at 8 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's shipped in its liquid form, meaning that when these trains crashed and these started leaking, they weren't just leaking liquid, but they were spewing boiling gas. So vinyl chloride is really toxic. OSHA has the permissible limit of how much you can be exposed to it during an 8-hour shift as a 1 ppm part per million, average over 8 hours. So prior to this, the biggest spill of this chemical was in New Jersey, where one train car and about 23,000 gallons of vinyl chloride were spilled, but it didn't catch on fire. Now, this crash in Ohio has 5 train cars. These kinds of tanker cars can carry between 25 and 33,000 gallons. Let's call it 250 to 250,000 pounds of vinyl chloride. That's per train car, 5 train cars. There's maybe 1 million pounds of this toxic chemical spilling into the ground and also boiling off into the air. But then it caught on fire. I think this is where the reporting is really bad, because no one is mentioning what the byproduct of vinyl chloride burning is. Of the many byproducts of burning vinyl chloride, one of them is hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride is really unstable and latches onto water, like just water vapor in the atmosphere, and that turns into hydrochloric acid. So right now, government officials from the railroad, both the governor of Pennsylvania and Ohio, are calling burning off the 1 million pounds of this stuff a success, but not mentioning that it means that we have hundreds of thousands of pounds of acid in the air, potentially. Now, ever since engineering school, I studied a lot of industrial accidents. I just find it really fascinating, and organizations like the Chemical Safety Board, NTSB, and OSHA all have like really good reports available to the public. I think as a designer, it's really good to learn about mistakes. When looking at these kinds of industrial disasters across time, there are a couple things that are pretty universal across all of them. One, the responsible party, in this case, Norfolk Southern Railway, always plays down the reality of the situation. Politicians also just repeat the same lines, and then news outlets just repeat the same. So all we're hearing is the responsible party's word.
Okay, now that was Nick Drom, DROM, on TikTok. You guys can go over and check that out. I mean, for God's sakes, 1 million pounds of this shit in the freaking air, going into the water, going into the soil. And you've got idiots on TV, on the news, telling you that it's totally okay. Like this woman right here.
Well and groundwater are safe. However, after this couple saw dead fish in this creek that you're looking at, they're deciding to not take any chances.
There was hundreds.
Russell Murphy is referring to the fish now belly up in Leslie Run. He and his wife noticed them last night, barely 48 hours after the fiery derailment 5 miles away.
This is huge, huge environmental effects.
That's now one of many concerns the EPA now faces.
The impact of the fish, yes, there was a impact to those. However, the levels as we have seen it are protective to groundwater. We are aware there are some wells along that for residential wells.
Environmental cleanup crews were at and actually in that water today. So are these booms, which are used to catch and stop anything that shouldn't be flowing here, or into water wells, which Murphy uses for just about everything. And
Right. So they did mention the dead fish in the water. However, they did tell you that the groundwater and the well water were safe, which clearly they are not. Okay, let's move on.
I am currently in Negley, Ohio. I'm at the corner of By Road in US 170 North. This is the bridge that goes over top of Leslie Run. This is their filter barrier that they have currently. But I think it's important for people to see the dead fish. I'm gonna walk under the bridge here above and show you. Coming right up, another fish. There's hundreds of them up here in this area across here. Hundreds. Another fish. Another fish. They're just everywhere. Fish, fish, fish. I mean, these are minnows. I mean, they are in our streams. Fish, 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 fish. This is only along one side that I can safely walk the water without Now, I came out on the other side of this bridge. I just walked you through underneath it. Those are your barriers, sand barrier they have. Here's more. Just hanging out. There's one out in the water. But you can see there's just fish dead. Hanging out everywhere. Now, this is the top side of their barrier. Leslie Run, people. Leslie Run.
All right. So, I mean, there are dead fish in these waters. It's from these toxic chemicals that were released into the air. There's people trying to tell everyone, and nobody seems to care or want to help or do anything about it. Hold on one second. We'll go to this next one.
Massive train derailed Friday, 20 of them carrying hazardous materials as flames lit up the sky in northeastern Ohio. The evacuation order is in place for anyone within a mile radius of the crash site.
These aren't storm clouds. This is the fucking shit! The fucking shit that burned off in East Palestine! This is not fucking storm clouds! Look at it! Horrible! I got arrested because it was a live report.
Officials are claiming that the air and water are safe. Residents say they can still smell chlorine. They've complained about their eyes watering when they go outside, and one woman says the noxious air killed her chickens.
Out of nowhere, he just started coughing really hard and just shut down and went very fast.
At all these fucking crows. I'm not kidding. This is within 10 miles of East Palestine.
You have not evacuated. Please leave the area.
I mean, it's completely insane, and the media is not talking about it. They are not pushing it. They are trying to keep this hush hush. Meanwhile, they've got everybody thinking aliens are coming to attack. I mean, it's lunacy. All right, let's go to this next one. Okay, so this one is not a video. The cloud radius of the chemical burn in Ohio is huge. Now it's right here, 200-mile radius report for East Palestine Village, Ohio. This region includes 190 counties, and they're all right here. I mean, that you can go check this out and get the full list. But it's 200-mile radius that this is having an effect on at this point. Now, this happened on Friday. It is now Monday. All of that stuff has been pumping into the air and into the water for days. All right, let me do this. Okay, now I did want to post this. This is Nick Drum again, and this is an update that he had posted about the train and the chemicals on the train. So I'm going to let you guys watch this. And then what I will do when I'm done is post his TikTok link down in the description below, and you guys can go watch any other videos he has on this subject and any other subject that you want. All right, so let's get into this.
It's Sunday night. There was a new document dropped. Update for the Norfolk Southern disaster in East Palestine, Ohio. This might be the biggest update we've had yet. It's a complete manifest from the train from Norfolk Southern. EPA made sure to note that initially they were only notified of the chemical compounds in the trains orally, also saying that they're not responsible for what's in this document. Just like all the other EPA documents that I've posted, they're available from a link in my bio. The EPA also released air results today. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to talk about them because this is a lot to talk about. It's a lot to go over, a lot of things that have been confirmed, and then a whole bunch of stuff that we're hearing for the first time. So the vinyl chloride. Train cars 28 through 31 were vinyl chloride. Car number 55 was also. We're going to have to make a whole video to talk about the vinyl chloride because that's a bigger thing, but let's just say I wouldn't think right now that at this point in time, vinyl chloride is a worry. I think concerning air, there's more of a concern about particulate, but that's going to have to be another video. This is just train contents. Some things that we didn't know. There were 3 train cars of diethylene glycol. One of the cars completely spilled and 2 of them were leaking. This chemical is flammable. It's toxic. It's used in the manufacturing of plastics. It's also used in some brake fluids. Based on the tank car class, that's these things here, there is at least 16,000 gallons that were lost. No definitive indication whether if it was burned or if it was just spilled. There's 1 car of polypropylene glycol that was breached. This is also a chemical that's used in the manufacturing of plastics. It is considered to have low toxicity to humans. However, 16,000 gallons of it pouring into the ground isn't great. There's 1 tank car of propylene glycol, not to be confused with polypropylene glycol. Propylene glycol, or PG as people who vape would know. It's low toxicity. It's used in some food products. It's used in vape liquids. But again, 16,000 gallons of it pouring into the ground, not good. The butyl acrylate that they did mention earlier, there was 1 tank car. It was breached and then caught on fire. It's very flammable, so I assume that that has all been burned away. Talk about cars that we know burn. So we have 2 hopper cars of PE, that's polyethylene plastic. These are going to be hopper cars of little plastic pellets used in a ton of different stuff, like all over your house, plastic bottles, toys. 4 hopper cars of what is labeled as polyvinyl. Hopper cars, so I'm assuming that this is PVC, polyvinyl chloride pellets. On the railroad, there's 1 burned, there's 1 burning, and 2 that had some amount burned. Toxic byproducts to the PVC burning, like the vinyl chloride burning itself. 1 car of balls burned, 1 car of sheet steel burned, 1 car of frozen veg, and then 1 car of powdered flakes. Not sure what the flakes are. List an unknown status for the ethylene glycol monobutyl and the ethyl hexylacrylate. Isobutylene was not breached. Now, this is the big thing. There were 2 cars of petroleum oil completely gone, and 3 that lost some amount. These kinds of tank cars can hold anywhere from 16 to 30,000 gallons. What we're really talking about here is an oil spill. 1 gallon of petroleum oil spill can pollute up to 1 million gallons of groundwater.
All right, you guys, I'm going to end this one here. But again, if you want to go check out Nick Drum's TikTok, the link is down in the description below. Anybody who wants to donate to the channel, links are all down in the description below. Please hit that thumbs up or that thumbs down, whatever you feel. All right, you guys, I love you. Please share this. Please talk about this. Please spread this around because not enough people are talking about it. I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions and keep spreading that light. I'll see you next time.